Welcome to tonight's class. Davina Kaler here, and I am so happy to share this class with you. Today's class is over stress and emotions, and you're going to see how the first two videos that we talked about, how all that kind of ties in with your stress and emotions. So we talked about a crash course in hormones, the first video, and we talked a lot about stress hormones. And the second one, we talked about not being able to sleep and how our hormones affect that. Well, when you have a lot of stress hormones going on and you have a lot of lack of sleep, then your stress and negative emotions are going to be amplified. So that is what we're going to talk about today, how to manage that, some life hacks, and just how to start your day off right. And this is such a topic that is near and dear to my heart because as a mom of 5, I'm a working mom, an entrepreneur. I know what it's like to have a lot of stress and to have a lot of emotions going on. And so if I can help one person today figure out how to manage their emotions a little bit better, it will just make my day. So hang on to your seats, let's get started, and you are going to get a ton of value out of this class. Stress has a physiological effect on the body. It's not just about feeling happier. It can physically manifest itself in ways such as having heartburn, stomach upset, pain in your body. You may randomly have shoulder pain. You can't figure out why. It could be that you are carrying tension in your shoulders. And emotional distress is very often related to lack of sleep and hormonal imbalance. So you can see how we're tying this together from our first two videos. Surely you have noticed that when you haven't had a good night's sleep, you are more susceptible to becoming overwhelmed when you get stressed or have a lot going on. Most people live in a chronic state of stress 70% of the time. This comes in the form of financial crisis, second mortgages, marriage issues, conflict with other people, work deadlines, sick kids at home, and so on. So why do we live in this state of stress 70% of the time? Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that the crowning achievement of the human brain is the frontal lobe, the seat of our conscience and our creative center. The frontal lobe is much larger in humans than in any other animal. This is good and bad for us. Good because it allows us to be imaginative and creative, and bad because it allows us to relive negative situations over and over, sometimes hundreds of times a day. And our body has no idea that we aren't actually in the situation, and it will produce those stress hormones and raise our blood pressure levels, produce more cortisol, and raise our anxiety levels by thought alone. For example, imagine you are a zebra and you are being chased by a lion. In that moment, your body is producing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to get you away from the danger, and its only task in that moment is to survive, to keep you alive. Your body is expending 100% of its energy on your survival. But as the zebra, once you get away from the danger, within about 15 minutes, you will go right back to grazing and eating grass with not another thought of your near-death experience. As a human, you would be able to relive that trauma over and over and over again. And your body would not know the difference than you thinking about it or that you were really in the situation. And it would produce those same stress hormones over and over as you relive that moment hundreds and hundreds of times a day. And when our body is in that state for a prolonged period of time, our genes start producing a cheaper protein, and this downregulates our genes and sets us up for disease. Thankfully, we live in a modern society so that we are not going to get chased by a lion as we're going about our everyday business. But we do deal with difficult situations and people throughout our days that will cause our bodies to activate stress hormones that will put us in a state where we can experience negative emotions and become stressed out. It is very easy once you start to feel these negative emotions just to stay stuck in them. You kind of get stuck in this negative frequency, and if you don't recognize it, you just stay there. There's frequencies and vibrational energy all around you, and whatever thoughts you have in your head will be in harmony with a matching frequency in your environment. Everything has a frequency. This isn't a weird or woo-woo type of thing. This is physics, and it's very important to understand. Albert Einstein once said, "Everything is energy And that is all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. If the majority of your thoughts are on your stress, then you're going to attract more stress. If the majority of your thoughts are on sadness, you're going to attract more sadness. If the majority of your thoughts are on anger, you're going to attract more situations that are going to make you angry. But in contrast, if you focus on being happy, you're going to attract more situations that are going to make you happier. It's very simple. It seems like a very simple thing to do, but sometimes it's hard to pull ourselves out of those difficult emotions. Now, let's tie this in how this can affect our health. Bruce Tainio, if I'm saying that right, of Tainio Technology, built the first frequency monitor in the world. With this device, he has been able to measure the average frequency of the human body as 62 to 68 hertz. Essential oil frequencies have a range of 46 megahertz up to 580 megahertz, and disease begins at 58 megahertz. Each organ and part of our body operates at its own frequency, and each responds to other frequencies in their own way. For example, your heart resonates at a different frequency than your skin or your bones. When you deal with negative emotions frequently, your frequency in your body is going to drop. And not only are you going to feel bad emotionally, but you are also going to get sick more often. And unfortunately, whenever you feel these negative emotions on a prolonged time period, these emotions can settle into different parts of the body. For instance, the liver holds on to anger, the heart will hold on to grief, your kidneys will hold on to fear, and your bladder will hold bitterness. How do we stop this vicious cycle of lack of sleep, stress hormones wreaking havoc on our bodies, and our thoughts and emotions making us sick? By starting our day off with gratitude and positive thoughts, as these raise the frequency of our body. When you first wake up, do not grab your phone and start scrolling on Facebook or checking your emails. I love to start my day off with the Great Day Everyday Protocol, and in order for me to do this, I have to wake up about 15 to 30 minutes earlier than what I normally would, and it's totally worth it. This protocol was written by Gary Young, and it is these 4 oils. Here you have Valor, you have Harmony, you have Joy, and White Angelica. And these are amazing powerhouse oils. They're great for emotional support. And if you were to ask me what my favorite essential oils are, I would name at least, these would be my top 4 for sure. And so what I like to do is I just go through the protocol as it was written by Gary, and I take my Valor and I place it in the palm of my hand, and I rub my hands together, and then I breathe Valor in. And breathe out, and breathe in the positive feelings, and then let anything negative out whenever you breathe out. So breathe in and breathe out. And then I will take my Valor again and place it on the palm of my, or not on the palm, on my wrist. And I guess I got some on my palm too. Place it on my wrist. I'm gonna rub my wrists together and hold them for just a moment. And I'm going to set my intention for myself that day and breathe in this oil. And I got some in my hands, so I'm going to rub it again. But you're going to hold this together. And Valor is a great balancing oil. So it is great for balancing your emotions and grounding yourself. And then I'm going to calm my mind and promote positive feelings with Harmony. And Harmony is fabulous. This is one of my favorite scents. I wear this one often outside of using it for the protocol. So I'm going to drop it in my palm, and I'm going to rub my hands together in a circular motion, and then I'm going to again breathe this oil in, and I'm going to think on my intention. And your intention can be anything. I like to think of I'm going to hang on to feelings of happiness and joy and well-being for as long as possible, or I will set an intention of today I'm going to be of service to someone by whatever it is that my intention is for the day. There is an affirmation you can say, and it is, Let my will harmonize and align to the greater good for all I connect with today. And you maybe have a specific intention for like customers or coworkers or your family or friends or whatever. You can think of a certain topic or person as you say that affirmation. And then my next oil I'm going to grab is joy, and this is going to promote feelings of happiness for your mind and your body. And joy is also the same frequency as your heart. So when we put it in our hand, we apply it over our heart. And I don't have much left in here, so I'm going to kind of dab it out. I got to get me some more. I don't like to run out of these wonderful emotional oils, but I'm low on that one. So then I'm going to rub it here, and I'm just going to place it over my heart. And then I'm going to breathe it in. And again, think on my intention that I've set for myself. And breathe it in deeply, and do this a few times. And then I'm going to get my white angelica, and white angelica is a protective essential oil, and it's great for protecting your positive emotions and energies. So you're going to place white angelica in your hand and drop it out. And you're going to rub it in your hands, and again, breathe in, and think on your intentions. And with this one, you're going to do another step, and that is just kind of sweep the plane of your body, starting at the crown of your head and go down. And then I like to just think of me zipping up a bunny suit, and just that protects you from negative emotions and negative energies throughout your day. And again, revisit your intention. And then what I like to do after that, or after I'm in such a positive mind frame and mindset, sorry, I always rub oils in my hair. It's a habit. So once I do that, then I will get my Mountain Mover book. My good friend Julie wrote this journal, and I will get it, and you can see I've written in it. What I like about this journal is up here, there's no exact date, so you don't feel guilty if you miss a couple of dates. You just pick up where you left off. So in here, once I've done this, I like to think about 10 things I'm grateful for, and I'll write them down. And then I will, there's like a 30-day habit you can write. So mine is write my journal for 30 days because I'm not the best at doing that. And then my goal for the day. And then I write down everything I'm thankful for. And then there's 6 little tasks here that you can write down. And on this day, I got 4 of them done out of the 6. So it's just something to help with. But I like this journal. You can get it off at Amazon. And it's not very expensive at all. I can't remember how much it was. But I like to write in my little journal. And I'll see if I can get a link from her to put in our class so that you could get one if you desire to. I write in that, and then I like to write down 3 people that I'm either upset with, or that I feel have wronged me, or that I need to forgive. And oftentimes that one of those people is myself. But I write down those names, or I usually just put the first initial, because I don't necessarily, if someone picked up my book, I don't want them to know who I'm mad at the moment. And I will think of those 3 people and just send love and thoughts of prosperity their way. And I don't do this for them. I do this for me, because this helps me release any bitterness or frustration or anger that may keep me from having a good day if I keep it bottled up. So I release all those negative emotions, send them love, and I go on about my business. And then I like to sit quietly for 3 to 5 minutes and just think about what I can do for the day to be the best version of me, and what I can do to serve others. And so that's what I do first thing in the morning to start my day off right, and to get myself in that positive mind frame and break the cycle of negative emotions. All right, so hopefully that was extremely helpful for you guys.
So what happens when you experience a negative emotion as you're going throughout your day? You have a situation that has caused you to be angry, and you just cannot get over that anger. It is okay to react. It is okay to feel a negative emotion. what is important to do is once you realize that you are experiencing a negative emotion, is to not let yourself ruminate in that negative emotion for very long. So what I like to do whenever I realize that I'm angry about something and I don't want to feel this way, I will grab an essential oil like orange or harmony or joy, any of those uplifting oils, and I will take a moment to breathe them in, apply them to my body, and focus on the emotion I'd rather be having. So if I'm angry and I'd rather feel happy, I will focus on all the things that I am grateful for that make me happy, and I will focus on that until I feel that feeling of happiness start to radiate more from my heart and flow through the rest of my body. And in that way, I know I'm ready to move on from that negative emotion, because I want my personality to determine my personal reality and not my personal reality to dictate my personality.
So I really hope that you got a lot of value from this class, that you learned great ways to start your day off right. You learned about some amazing emotional oils. And you guys, as always, please drop me a comment below and tell me what you liked about this video, what you learned, your biggest aha moment, and if you have any questions at all about anything you learned, drop those there too, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you guys so much. I enjoy doing these classes with you, and I look forward to the next one. And the next one is all about energy. So this will be fun, and I just thank you so much, and you guys have a great and wonderful, blessed day.